Welcome to the online English class. As usual, I am Muhammad Mahmud Hassan, lecturer in English, Rani Bhavani Government Women's College, Natur. I am welcoming you all to this class. First of all, our today's learning outcome. Our topic of discussion today is subject-verb agreement. So we will learn today subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement is one of the most basic parts of English grammar and commonly repeated in exams. Reviewing and practicing the rules will help you fully understand subject-verb agreement and avoid many of the common mistakes that occurs in the exam. So, subject-verb agreement is one of the most used topics in English grammars, and almost all types of exams, whether it is academic or career questions, cover this category of question, subject-verb agreement. Basic rule, the fundamental rule of subject-verb agreement is that a singular subject, she, bil, kha, takes a singular verb, is, goes, shines, whereas a plural subject takes a plural verb. So the basic concept of subject-verb agreement is that if the subject is singular, the verb will be singular, and if the subject is plural, the verb must be plural. Here are some examples. Subject-verb agreement. Singular subject verb, and in this column plural subject verb. She is, Rabbi goes, Khar shines. These are the singular subject verb agreement. That means subject is singular, verb is singular. Rabbi is singular, goes is also singular, Khar is singular, shines is singular. And in this column, plural subject verb agreement. They are, Runa and Rumi go, tomatoes grow. They plural are also plural. Runa and Rumi are plural as subject. Go is plural. Tomatoes is plural. Grow is also plural. So the subject and the verb must match, agree with each other. We will discuss the topic step by step. Here is your first rule. As a general rule, use a plural verb with two or more subjects when they are connected by and. If the subject are connected by and, that will be a plural subject and the verb must be plural. Here are some examples. The headmaster and the secretary of the college were present in the meeting. Jamal and I walked to school. A car and a bike are my means of transportation. Here in the first example, the headmaster and the secretary both makes a plural subject by adding and. That's why we have used were as the plural verb. Likewise, Zamal and I both the singular subject by adding and they have become plural, and we have used plural verb walk. A car and a bike. A bike is a singular subject, a car is also a singular subject, but both have become plural by adding and for that reason we have used are as the verb. But note these exceptions. Bread and butter is my favorite breakfast. Breaking and entering is against the law. The bed and breakfast was charming. Here in these three examples, bread and butter, breaking and entering, the bed and breakfast, both have been a single unit, though they are separate, but as a whole they are single unit. For that reason we have used singular verb. So my dear students, and does not ensure that my subjects will be plural. If and is added but both subjects are functioning as a single unit, then the verb will be singular. But if and is used, both subjects are available but they are separate, then my subjects will be plural and the verb must be plural. Here is your second rule. Two singular subjects connected by or, either or, neither or nor require a singular verb. So two singular subjects connected by or, either or, neither nor require a singular verb. My aunt or my uncle is arriving by train today. Neither Jasmine nor Zarin is available. Either Kishore or Kamal is helping today. By adding or neither nor, either or, actually we make the subject separate. That is, it becomes a single subject. For that reason we use singular verb. All the examples show that. Is, we have used is. So if we use or, either or, neither or nor, then we must use singular verb. Rule number 3. The verb in an or, either or neither nor sentence agrees with the noun or pronoun closest to it, nearest to it. I'll make you clear. Here are some examples. He or his brother has done the work. Here he or his brother, to subject is used. What will be our point to focus? The subject which is closest to the verb, will be the determiner. Here his brother is singular, that's why we have used has. In the second example, neither the plates nor the serving bowl was on that shelf. serving bowl. Serving bowl is singular and it is closest to the verb was. That is why my verb in this sentence is singular. The same example, if we write in this way, neither the serving bowl nor the plates were on that shelf. Here, the plates are plural and it is nearer to the verb were. As it is plural, our verb must be plural. So, if in a sentence we used either or neither nor or, the verb will be determined by the closest subject to the verb itself. Rule number 4. A subject will come before a phrase beginning with of. This is a key rule for understanding subjects. The word of makes us confused in many, perhaps most, subject verb mistakes. So a verb will come before a phrase beginning with of. So that will be the determiner of subject. In the example, the list of items is on the desk. So what will be the subject which has come before of? Here list has come before of. That is why list is subject, and as list is singular, our verb is singular here. In the second example, the students of the class are attentive. The students, it has come before of phrase or prepositional phrase, and as the students are plural, our verb is also plural, are. The thickness of the books varies depending on contents. Thickness has come before of phrase or prepositional phrase, and thickness is singular, our verb is also singular, varies. We have added s or es. A bouquet of yellow roses lends color and fragrance to the room. Bouquet is singular and our verb has become singular. So what we get before of phrase in the initial of the sentence, that is basically the subject, and if it is singular, our verb will be singular, and if it is plural, our verb will be plural. Now the reverse of the previous rule. With the words that indicate portions, the words which indicate portions, example gratia, for instance, a lot, a majority, some, all, these words indicate portion. Rule number 4, which I have discussed earlier, given earlier in this section, is reversed, and we are guided by the noun after of. In the previous slide we have said that our subject will come before of phrase or prepositional phrase, but if we use some words like a lot, a majority, some, all, and if it means or indicate portions, and after this words if we have of phrase, our subject will come after of phrase, and as per the status of the subject we will use that. Actually, our examples will make you clear, I think. Here are some examples. A lot of pie has disappeared. Here, of phrase and pie is singular, and we have used has. My dear students, if the words a lot, a majority, some, all are used, and if we use of phrase after these words, our subject will be what we look after of. After of. Here in this first example, pie is used after of, and pie is singular, our subject has disappeared. The same thing, a lot of the pies is plural, and we have used have disappeared, plural. A third of the city is unemployed. City is singular, and we have used a singular subject. A third of the people is plural. That is why are employed is used, are plural. All of the pie is gone. We have used the words which indicate portions, that is all, and of phrase has come, so our subject will be selected what we have used after of. The pie, it is singular, so our subject is singular, is gone. Likewise, some of the pie is missing, all of the pies are gone, pies are plural, our subject is plural. Some of the pies are missing, pies plural are missing. Dear students, you need to know what is pie itself. A pie is a baked dish, food item, baked dish, which is usually made of a pastry dough casing that contains a filling of various sweet or savory ingredients. Rule number 6A. Sometimes the subject is separated from the verb by such words as with, along with, together with, as well as, besides, not, in addition to, including, not less than, etc. These words and phrases are not part of the subject. Dear students, sometimes we use subject with all these phrases or words like with, along with, together with, as well as, besides, not, in addition to, including, not less than. But these phrases or words are not the part of subject. Ignore them and use a singular verb when the subject is singular. And if the subject is plural, our verb must be plural. Examples. The politician, along with the newsman, is expected to come. The politician, this is singular, and is expected to come. Along with the newsman, newsman is plural, but along with newsman is not the part of my subject. This is not compulsory or integral part of subject. My basic subject is the politician. It is singular, or verb is singular, is expected. Excitement as well as nervousness is the cause of her shaking. Excitement is singular, or verb is the cause. Is singular. But here in the third example, his brothers, along with Rohim, are skilled drivers. His brothers is plural. That is why are skilled drivers. Along with Rohim, this is not the integral part of subject. Rule number 6b. Parentheses are not part of the subject. Parenthesis means first bracket, second bracket, third bracket. That is not the part of the subject, optional element. Example, Joel and his trusty friends was always welcome. And his trusty friend, these phrases are within the parenthesis. It is not the integral part, optional element. My subject of this sentence is Joel. Joel is singular, our subject is singular, so verb was always welcome, was. I think you understood that. Rule number 7. In sentences beginning with here or there, the true subject comes after the verb. The true subject comes after the verb. So, the sentences which start with here or there, here and there, both are introductory here or there. That means the subject starts with here or there. But here or there, both are not the subject basically. In this type of structural sentences, actually subject comes after the verb. Subject comes after the verb. Examples, here are the keys. Here are the keys. The keys are plural. My verb must be plural, are. Here is a grammar book, a single grammar book. It is singular, or verb is singular. There are 4 hurdles to jump. There are 4 hurdles to jump. 4 hurdles, plural, are plural. There is a high hurdle, high hurdle to jump. A high hurdle, singular, verb is singular. So, in this type of structure, here and there, they are introductory here or there. Our main subject comes after the verb in this type of sentence. And if the subject is singular, our verb will be singular. And if the subject is plural, there must be a plural verb of this sentence. Rule number 8. Use a singular verb with distances, period of times, sums of money, etc. When considered as a unit. When considered as a unit. If we use distances, periods of time, sums of money, and if it is used or considered as a single unit, then it must be used as singular. 10 miles. It looks, it is plural, but not. 10 miles is a single unit. That is why we have used is. 10 miles is too far to walk. 4 or 5 years is needed to complete undergraduate program. 4 or 5 years, it is a single unit, and that is why it is used as singular subject, and we have used singular verb. 1000 takas is a high price to pay. 1000 looks like plural, but actually 1000 takas is a single unit. it is considered as a unit. For that reason, we have used singular verb. But look, $100 are scattered on the floor. Scattered. It is not actually used as a single unit. It has been scattered. They are separate. $100 are separate on the floor. That is why it is plural, and we have used plural verb. So the periods of time, distances, sums of money, if they are used as a single unit, our subject will be singular and our verb will be singular too. But if it is considered as separate, then our verb will be plural. Rule number 9, with collective nouns such as groups, committee, class, team, staff, jury, family, audience, population, the verb might be singular or plural. Both can be used. If we have used collective nouns, our verb might be singular, either singular or plural. If the subject, collective noun, works as a unit, if it is used as a unit, it is singular, and if the subject, collective noun, works as separate entity, it is plural. Likewise, our verb must be singular and plural. So, in a sentence, if we use collective nouns, our verb might be singular or plural. If collective nouns function as a single unit, our verb will be singular. But if it is not a single unit, if it is separate, then our verb will be plural. Examples will make you clear, I think. All of my family has arrived. We can also use or have arrived due to the situation. The committee has approved the bill. The committee has approved the bill. Or the committee are divided in their opinion. So the members of the committee are separate in their opinion. For that reason, we have used are divided in their opinion. But if the total members of the committee are functioning as a single unit, that is what in the first portion we have written, the committee has approved the bill. That means we have used singular verb. It means all the members of the committee are all together functioning as a single unit. Most of the jury is here or are here. A third of the population was opposed or were opposed to the bill. Both are correct, but it will depend upon the intention of the collective noun. If the total members of the collective noun is functioning as a single unit, then it will be used as singular, and that is why our verb will be singular. But if all the members of the collective noun is separate, and if all the members of the collective noun show their individuality, that is why they are separate, our verb must be plural. So we must be careful in using collective nouns. Rule number 10. If the indefinite pronouns, in my previous classes I have discussed that, if the indefinite pronouns like anybody, anyone, anything, nobody, no one, nothing, somebody, someone, something, everybody, everyone, everything function as subjects, the verb must be singular. My dear students, keep this in your mind that indefinite pronouns, anybody, anything, anyone, nobody, no one, no, nothing, somebody, someone, something, everybody, everyone, everything, all these are indefinite pronouns, and if they are used in a sentence, then our subject must be singular. So memorize this. If they are used in a sentence, our verb must be singular. Examples. Everybody loves an honest man. Nobody believes a liar. Something is better than nothing. No one has stolen my pen. So everybody, nobody, something, no one, all are indefinite pronoun, and if they are used in a sentence as subject, subject must be regarded as singular and our verb must be singular. So thank you very, very much for your kind patience. My suggestion to all of my dear students is that keep studying at your home and stay home, stay safe. Thank you very, very much.